בעזרת השם, תורה ל"ח ליקוטי מוהר"ן, פרט ו'. ומשה זכה לאור התפילין. And Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the one that got that light of tefillin in a perfect way. He achieved it all. Like that is written in the Holy Zohar, כמו שכתוב בזוהר, והתנצלו את עדים that tefillin, that they took off their jewelry. Jewelry means that tefillin, what that they were putting on their heads and arms. ומשה ייקח את האוהל, but Moshe, he took the tent. What it means that he took the tent? שלקח אותן האורות, that he took the lights. So they took it off, the tefillin themselves, but he took the lights. Moshe Rabbeinu took the light with him. That's the difference between common people. Usually after Chanukah finish, so immediately they're saying, oh, it's so pity, it finished the Chag. At the end of Pesach, they're saying, oh, it's so pity, we finished Pesach, now after Sukkot, what are we going to do? Now we need to go out from the Sukkah. No, it's not the truth. You take the light that you accepted for the last 7 days in the Sukkah, and you take it with you. For the rest of your life, you have that light with you. Moshe Rabbeinu, he knows how to do that. When he taken off the tefillin off his head, the light of the tefillin is still illuminating in every step. In his future, he's carrying that light with him for the rest of his life. I put tefillin. There's a story in the Gemara on one of the righteous people that he said about his brother that he's a very great, important person. So they asked him why. He said because one time he prayed in the nets in the morning, early in the morning, and he put tefillin and said Kriyat Shema, and after it, he was smiling all day long. He's so great, he was happy. So he took the tefillin with him, the prayer in the nets in the morning early, all day long with him. So that's a great person, that's a very important person. He knows how to appreciate, he understands the kindness of Hashem. Today I put tefillin. Amazing, amazing. Me today, I didn't put tefillin yet. Yes, I didn't put my tefillin yet, but I'm still happy. Yeah, because I have a few more hours until sunset. And that's why I'm going to put tefillin. I prayed Shachrit without tefillin today. What can I do? Maybe I should hide it. I'm going to be a hidden criminal instead of a hidden tzaddik. No, I'm going to tell you that today I couldn't put my tefillin. So I had to pray Shachrit without putting my tefillin. And still the light of yesterday's tefillin is shining. And I'm happy. And I'm going to put Bezrat Hashem, if Hashem will help. Bezrat Hashem. I have until sunset. Rav Gudlevsky said that he had more than 1.5 years in his life that he was putting tefillin every day close to sunset. Because he said the weight of that tefillin was something like 1.5 tons for him to put. It was so heavy for him. Rav Gudlevsky we're talking, not some Baal Tshuva like me. Let's still look for the way for the Bet Knesset, the closest shul. Rav Gudlevsky, a huge person, a huge chassid. And it took him so much powers to put on putting tefillin. Because adraba, kol hagadol mechavero yitzro gadol mimeno. If you're greater than your friend, means if you achieved something that your friend haven't achieved, so the Yetzer Hara going to fight with you also on that. And he's not fighting with your friend on that. So adraba, if you achieve things, Yetzer Hara is fighting with you. So Moshe Rabbeinu, he took those lights with him. Milshon behilo nero ale roshi. When Hashem, like it's written in Iyov, that Hashem was, the light of the candle of Hashem was illuminating on the head of Iyov. So you see that candle, it's ner mitzvah. A candle, it's a mitzvah. The mitzvah, it's mitzvah tefillin. What's a mitzvah that you have on your head? Nero, his candle. A candle is a mitzvah, his mitzvah. Ale roshi, on my head. Which is it? Tefillin. Which other mitzvah you have on your head? Tefillin. So the tefillin was on my head and it was illuminating. Behilo. It was glowing. Aura. Illuminating. Good enough? Glowing above his head. Ale roshi. So you see that the light, when Moshe Rabbeinu, he took the lights. Which lights? The Torah is comparing between the verses. The Chachamim, they have the permission to compare between the verses and to teach you which light in which verse is talking on which subject that been talked also in a different verse. So וזהו, and that's what that's written on Moshe Rabbeinu, כי קרן אור פניו, that his face were glowing, shining. Al Shem named on what that's written, and from that came out that horrible mistake of, what was his name? Michelangelo, poor guy. That it's written on Moshe Rabbeinu. It's amazing how they took everything from our books. Everything is written, and they just took another piece of Gemara, and it's amazing how many times you can see that. You can see Gemarot in the world spread in movies and in music and in. It's amazing. Yeah. Tanakh. It's not everything. They misinterpret. It's written. Look what's written. It's not twisted. They just didn't know. Cannot blame the person on the fact that he's ignorant, that he never learned. He doesn't know. He thought that he was aiming to the truth. That's how we interpret the verse. Al Shem, named on what it's written. Keren achat haya lo b'mitzcho. He had one horn, but it means like a beam of light. It's a keren or. In Hebrew, in Lashon HaKodesh, in the holy language, when you say keren, it's also a horn, and it's also a beam of light. It's the same word. You say keren. Keren, it's a straight line that comes out from one place to the other. So it can be a horn, and it can be a beam of light. So they saw that it's written that he had a keren on his head, one keren. So they thought that it's a horn. Yeah. So, chas v'shalom, to think like that, and for sure, his face was shining. Achat haya lo b'mitzcho, ze b'chinat tefillin. It's one he had, and it was in his forehead, and it was the aspect of tefillin. It was the light of the tefillin that was glowing, that was shining out of his head after that he took off that tefillin. That's why it calls tefillin shebarosh. Tefillin that's in the head, not on the head, in the head. The light of the tefillin affects your brain, affects your thoughts, affects your spirit, your neshama. זה בחינת תפילין שהוא במצח. So it's in the aspect of tefillin that's in the forehead. ועל ידי זה, and by that, ויראו מגשת אליו. They were, ויראו מגשת אליו. Like we said, again, you remember, yesterday and day before we spoke about that. They were not afraid to go to talk to him. וראו בני עמי הארץ ויראו ממך. People saw you and they were afraid of you. No. ויראו, they were afraid מגשת אליו. To go to talk to him? No. ויראו מגשת אליו. After they spoke with him, they become to be afraid of Hashem. They received their יראת שמיים because they went to talk to him. How can you receive from the righteous man if you were not going to talk to him? If you were not going to see his face, if you're not going to talk to him, going to ask him your questions, he's going to answer you, how are you going to receive from him? You need to go to take. הרוצה את הרב יבוא אליו. You want the rabbi, go to him, you have to go. If you were not going to go, you will not going to receive. Once I spoke with Rav Shalom, I told him that I heard a class of a certain student of Rav Shalom, and I told him I heard him talking for half an hour, and I couldn't hear you in his speech. He was talking and talking and talking, and you, Harav, you weren't there. So Rav Shalom told me that's the difference between a student like you, he mentioned me, that you're coming all of the time to see me, to a student that just read my books. A student that just read my books, Rabbeinu is explaining the difference. He said, it's good, it's helpful, it's good, it's useful, but it's not the same like really lekabel panav, to accept his face. Because then when you accept his face, you accept his face. You accept his wisdom. Chokhmat Adam ta'ir panav. The wisdom of his face gonna illuminate his face. So when you accept his face, you accept his wisdom. You accept his wisdom. So, so by that, people learned how to get close to Hashem by the fact, because that they went and spoke with Moshe. Because his fear from heaven, his faith was illuminating on them, shining on them. Like that it's written, Az tavin yirat Hashem. Then you're going to understand the faith in Hashem, the fear from heaven, from Hashem, וכולי. וזה שאמרו רבותינו, and that's what רבותינו, our rabbis, the wise people, זיכרונם לברכה, said, העובר עבירה ומתבייש בה, if a person sinned, and now he's embarrassed because of that, he feels bad. He knows that he done something wrong. He sat now, he done something wrong, he ate without bracha, he watched some, I don't know which nonsense in the computer, and now he embarrassed, he feel bad with himself that he done that sin. Mochalin lo miyad. They forgive him immediately. How easy it can be. What you want easier than that? What you want? Not to be embarrassed? At least just be embarrassed for a little moment, and then they're telling you, Mochalin lo miyad. Forgive you immediately. So why you keep on chasing and blaming yourself? Because you don't believe in the power of Teshuva. You don't believe what amazing, huge, important, great gift Hashem gave us, the Teshuva. He gave you the opportunity to fix it all, to fix everything. So you're going to say, so why if I done Teshuva on something, I keep on falling to the same thing again and again? If I fixed it, so it doesn't need to drag me again to the same place. The answer is that you're used to it. You're just used to sin. You're just used to that. You're lazy. But they in heaven, in court, they're not angry at you on that anymore, on the fact that you're lazy. And if you're going to decide to stand up on your legs, you're going to be relieved. You're going to feel easy. You're going to be light. It's going to be easy for you to break that circle. But for you that you're used to that, you're stuck and you don't move. But only because you're not moving. But if you're going to move, you're going to move. That's the power of Teshuva. That's the power of daily Hitbodedut. Why? Because let's say the person now, he's used to sin in a certain sin. And now when he starts to do Hitbodedut, every day he confesses on that thing. Let's take the most simple example in the world. He doesn't want to say no bad comments to his wife. Okay? He doesn't want to say bad things to his wife. Now, every time that he's saying something explodes in the house. He finds that happened again and again and again. Oh, again, why I'm not learning, why I'm not understanding, it's not working, it's not the right way, I need to pray for her, I need to find the right time to talk to her, whatever, he understands his mistake. Every time that it's happened to him again and again and again, he's not waking up to fix it until he starts to go to the field. What's going on in the field? When you do Teshuva in the field, when you start doing Teshuva and you confess, every day you remind yourself your mistakes of yesterday. And then you think to yourself, oh, again, I said something stupid and I paid for it. So I'm sorry, Hashem, I was wrong. And then you find yourself confessing again in the day after. And you say, even though that I confessed yesterday, today I done the same thing. How stupid I can be. What's going on with me? And then in a third day, he's saying to himself, maybe I shouldn't do it anymore. So every day he is adding another purity, another weight to the power of Teshuva. And in the third day, in the fourth day, in the fifth day, it depends how much drugs he took before of the Teshuva. In the fifth day, in the sixth day, seventh month, yeah, like I said, depends how much drugs he took before of the Teshuva. He's gonna start thinking like that. So maybe instead of doing Teshuva after sinning, I'm not gonna sin. Maybe I'm gonna hold myself next time. It takes time to come to that huge conclusion. It takes time for people like us, thick people like us. It takes time. But with time, you come to that conclusion. And then you think to yourself, so maybe instead of doing Teshuva on that thing every day, I'm going to start paying attention during the day and I'm not going to do it. And then I learned an halakha with a friend once. We learned something about the intention that you need to have while you're saying the first verse in 18. Means when you say, Hashem sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. The Rav Yashiv is saying psak on that. Maybe there are other shitot, but I don't think so. Rav Yashiv is saying that if you don't say that verse with the right intention, Hashem, open my lips and my mouth gonna praise you. If you're not saying that with that thought of Hashem, I'm talking to you and I'm asking from you now to open my lips that I'm gonna praise you because I cannot do it without your help. If you don't think that thought while you're saying those words, you haven't prayed Shachrit, you haven't prayed Shmona Esrei. That's what the Rav Eliashiv is saying, Psak. You have the same halacha about Avot, about the first bracha also. But also on Avot, there is a certain side over there that they're learning that because that somewhere on your way to Shul, on your way to pray Shmona Esrei, you thought for a little moment that you about to pray to the king, so you fulfilled your obligation on intention in the prayer. But that is useful, by what that I learned, for the first bracha in Avot. But on the first verse of Hashem Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehillah, if you haven't aimed the right intention of that verse, it's like you haven't prayed the Tfilat Shmona Esrei at all. So I learned that with a friend of mine, and in the next day he came to me and he told me, you don't know how many times not too many, but because it was only the day after, but 3 times, 3 prayers that he had from that day until tomorrow, all Mincha and Ma'ariv and the next Shachrit, he said Hashem Sfatai Tiftach without that intention, and he came back to, and he went back to say it again. You have the same halacha on Shema Israel. If you don't think, if you're not accepting on yourself yoke of heaven when you say Shema Israel, it's like you haven't said Shema Israel. If you thought about foreign things while you said Shema Israel, it's like you haven't said Shema Israel. And if you said Shema Israel without, just on automatic, you just said Shema Israel Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and you didn't thought about Hashem, about thinking, you haven't thought about accepting yourself yoke of heaven, you haven't kept that mitzvah. It's not like talit, that if you wrapped yourself with talit, so it's okay, it's enough. If you put tefillin, it's enough. On those 2 verses, on the verse of Kriyat Shema and on the verse of Shmona Esrei, Hashem Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehillah, the mitzvah is to aim the meaning of the words in that. That's the mitzvah. On Talit, you don't have a mitzvah to aim nothing. You need to keep them, to aim that you keep the mitzvah. That's what that requires, because mitzvot tzrichot kavana. So you need to remember. It's not a blanket, it's not a shirt, it's not some sheet that I'm covering myself with it. That's, now we're talking about a mitzvah that I'm keeping. If you had only that thought, you remember that it's a mitzvah, you fulfill your obligation. But in the first verse of Shema Israel, and in the first verse in Shmona Esrei, that is Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, you have to keep the mitzvah. What's the mitzvah? To aim to think the real meaning of the words of that verse. That's the mitzvah. And if you haven't done that, so you haven't kept the mitzvah. It's like you haven't wrapped yourself today with a talit. You haven't put tefillin on your hand and on your arm. Because the mitzvah, it's to think the real meaning of the words. So I learned with that guy that mitzvah, and we learned that limud from Rav Eliashiv that explains that if you haven't done that, so you haven't done the mitzvah today. So he came to me the next day and he told me 3 times Mincha and Ma'ariv and today's Shachrit, in that day that he told me, in the same, I had the same mistake. 3 times I said Shema Hashem Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehillah without thinking about Hashem, and then I remembered that I forgot. So I had to say that verse again. And he said again Hashem, and he was talking to Hashem. It can be that that day was the first day in his life that he was talking, that he prayed Shmona Esrei. Might be. So think about that. Think about that amazing thing that a person can achieve in the moment that he just accept on himself to do Teshuva. In the moment that you do Teshuva, in that moment you receive the powers to fix. They're helping you from heaven to come to the right conclusions and to learn a little bit more. And then you're going to also help from heaven to open the right books and to consult with the right people. That's going to help you, going to lead you in an easy way. Maybe it's the time to talk about that thing that we just opened in our website, the amazing Pina of Rav Ishai, to talk about peace in the house. Rav Ishai Tukayer, the Rav Ishai Tukayer that is teaching in our center. And now he's guiding and teaching people how to have peace in the house. Every person have issues in his house. It's not only for fresh grooms that want to learn how to treat their wives. It's also for old cooks that never knew how to respect their wives. Also need to learn the right advice. So Rav Yishai is teaching in a way that is very light and very helpful and very easy to accept and to teach you by those foundations of faith and prayer, Hitbodedut, how to build your life, how to rebuild your life. So every person, you know someone that needs help in Shlom Bayit, tell him, go, try to learn from Rav Yishai Tukayer, watch his classes on Shlom Bayit, consult with him over the phone, whatever. Every person needs to learn. Us, we need to learn. So for sure that others that never learned have to learn. That power of Teshuva going to heal the world. That power of understanding that there is hope, that there is someone to call, that there is someone to talk to, that Hashem is here, that Hashem is with us, that Hashem can help you. The only reason that we're in exile is because the truth, bottom line, we don't believe that Hashem can help us. Which other answer can you answer? Why are you not going to live in Eretz Israel? Why are you not changing your lifestyle? Why are you not quitting that horrible job that you're working at? Why you're not respecting your wife? Why are you rebuking everyone? Because you don't think that Hashem can help you to solve your problems. So you think that you need to go to be mefarnes and you have to stay in the United States to work because that's the source of your parnasa is stuck somewhere in the East Coast or the West Coast, sorry. And it's all imaginations. It's coming only from the fact that you don't believe that Hashem can supply the parnasa for you also in Eretz Israel without you being a slave to your parnasa over there somewhere in the United States. Or you think that you have to rebuke your wife and to tell her why this and why that and why you haven't and why you won't and why this and why and how many times I need to say the same thing and again, and you don't understand that it's not working. You don't understand. You cannot see that every bad comment, it's a crack in the house and another crack is shaking the foundations of the house. You don't see that your house is shaky. You don't see that your children are not listening to you. You don't see that your children are not listening to your wife. You don't see that they're not respecting you. You don't see that your wife, she's not desiring you. You don't see that your wife, she's not respecting you. You don't see that your way is not working. Is it so hard? You need Google glasses to see that? What you need? X-ray vision to see what you need. Isn't it simple? So there is something that you must do. So do tshuva. Go back to Hashem. Start talking to Hashem and tell Him, Father, I need your help. Something is wrong with me. I'm not making it. It's not happening in my house somehow. I need your help. I need your advice. Bring me closer to real righteous people. People that really can lead me, can give me the right advice. Give me the power to shut my mouth. Not to answer always. Not to rebuke. Not to be negative all of the time. Not to be bitter. Not to be sad. Not to be angry. Help me to work on my midot. That I'm going to be humble. That I'm going to be able to listen to some criticism. Like that it's written. That the criticism is coming because that you love me. Hashem, you're just pointing me to my purpose to do tshuva. You just help me to find what that required to fix. Obi once, I think it was you, right? On the garage, you told me about the mechanic guy. If you bring your car now to a mechanic guy and you tell him, I have a problem. Okay, so he now opened the cover of the engine and he's looking, and then you're going to see him sitting on the floor and crying, oy vey, what I'm going to do? The engine, the alternator, I don't know, all of the parts. It's broken. What I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my car from that garage, for sure. That's for sure. What are you whining? You found the problem. Go fix it. If you don't know what's the problem, you're going to see him, look, I'm in a problem. I'm working for 4 hours on your engine. Okay, now you're going to understand why he's broken. Because he doesn't know what to do. He's stuck with your engine and he's wasting time with your life. Okay, I understand. But if you found the problem and now he's crying, oh, it's domestic shalom bayit problems. You don't know my wife. You don't know my parnasa. No, I'm not able. You know the problem and now you cry? I told you once I came to Rav Shalom with a shalom bayit story that finished with a horrible divorce, with 4 sad children that their house been broken. And I went to Rav Shalom and I told him, Rav, the wife, she's about to divorce her husband. I don't know what to do. What should we do? So he told me the husband, first of all, needs to go every day to do 6 hours Hitbodedut. So I told him, Rav, that guy is all depressed. He gave up already. So he told me, now it's the time to give up. Tell him to give up after she's going to come back to the house. Then he's going to give up. You cannot give up now when you have a problem, when you have a situation that you need to solve. Now you're giving up. You gave up before the patient died. The doctor are saying, no, he doesn't have a chance. He's alive, he doesn't have a chance, and they leave the room. They let him die. It's not doctors, those are murderers. You cannot say he doesn't have a chance. Stand and pray that Hashem going to help him until the last breath. Okay, no chance. What do you know? Pray. If you gave up on him before he died, how can you do that? You give up on your shalom bayit when she's still screaming at you. If she's screaming at you, it means she cares. It means there is pulse. She's angry. Something is making her furious. So she cares about the relationship. That is bent, that is crooked, that is weird, that is wild, that is confusing. Everything you're going to put in that bag, I'm accepting. Everything you're going to say. But she cares. She still cares. That's the power of Rabbeinu, that's the power of Teshuva. Rav Shalom once compared, he said, what's the difference between Rabbeinu to all of the rest of the righteous people? He said, there was an accident, a truck, a semi-trailer with 20 wagons. He carried 20 wagons and he ran into a person and all of the 20 wagons, how many wheels you have in all of them went on that poor guy. That's it. No guy anymore. Nothing. A red carpet on the highway. And everyone are coming and looking. All of the doctors are looking and they have to set his death. They're saying, he's dead. Yeah, second doctor comes and looks, he's dead. Third one, dead. Everyone are saying dead, 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 dead. And then comes a short doctor, Ashkenazi rabbi, with red peot, red beard, looking at that, and he says, you know, I see a cell, one cell that is still got some life in it. The other doctors, they didn't look at that. They don't believe that you can build something from one cell. They don't think that you can build something out of nothing. They need to have something, a heart, a brain, a bone, some structure, something. They need to have something. Why? Because they don't have a complete faith that the Creator created the world, yesh me'ayin, something from nothing. And then comes Rabbeinu, and he's looking and he says, you know, maybe we should say some tehillim on him, and he's pouring some medicines on him. And he say, maybe if he will say tikkun klali, and he gives another advice, and do 1 hour Hitbodedut every day, more potions, and more medicines, and more good things, and more good advice, and Hitbodedut, and mikveh every day, and look on the positive side of your life, and judge yourself favorably. I started good. Favorably. I once tried. Chaim taught me that in the computer today we have a MacBook, and you can, if you're ignorant, so you don't know how to write, but you're managing somehow with your speech. You can talk. So he taught me that you can record your messages, and the computer is typing it for you. There's a daemon over there that works for you. You buy that daemon when you pay to Apple, and they're sending their daemon with the computer. He's inside the MacBook. He's inside the daemon. Fold inside the computer, and you open, and the daemon is, hello, what do you need? Talk. And then, so I tried to say some words over there, and because of my Hebrew accent, it didn't recognize. So I told my wife, listen, now it's gonna catch. Now I'm trying. I said, please do this and that, and he's writing all different words. He doesn't understand. He's starting to write in Arabic, Chinese maybe. Which language are you asking me to translate? And whatever. And then I said to my wife, watch, now it's gonna work. And I just started to talk, and he got it right. When you talk like what you want, no, he doesn't. You need to talk with an accent. It's a sophisticated demon, and the MacBook is an American he born in the USA, and he doesn't understand Hebrew accent. So that's Rabbeinu Kadosh. That Rabbeinu, he said, I dropped everything. He said, I have the power to bring Mashiach. Rabbeinu said, I have the power to bring Mashiach, and I dropped it all in the side, and I chose, and that's the purpose of his life, להחזיר אתכם למוטב, to bring you back to be good. He said, I wanted to write a book that's gonna solve all of the arguments in the Shulchan Aruch. To write a straight book that's going to solve all of the machlokot, all of the arguments between Ashkenazim, Sfaradim, the Ramah Shita, and the Rambam Shita, and the Shulchan Aruch, and what's written in the Torah. Rabbeinu had the wisdom to write a book that's going to answer on all of the doubts, that's going to solve all of the doubts, that everyone going to keep the same halacha. And then he said, I decided not to write that book. Why? Because no one going to keep that book. So I decided to write the Likutei Moharan, and then I'm going to bring Baalei Teshuva. It's better. It's better that you're going to have people that are looking for halacha than to have halacha and no one wants to keep it. So he chose to write the Likutei Moharan, that's a book that people are going to do tshuva because of that book. It's better than that the three guys that are going to stay are going to keep the straight Shulchan Aruch. No. It's better that going to be 3,000, 30,000, 3 million that going to want to find the truth than 3 that are keeping it. That's better. It's better to have thousands of Baalei Teshuva that's searching for the truth than 10 or 5 righteous people that knows exactly what they should do. Who needs that? So Rabbeinu realized that. Rabbeinu brings us the power of Teshuva, the faith in the power of Teshuva, to understand that there is always a chance that you can build something even after it's been ruined. כל עוד הנר דולק אפשר לתקן. As long as the candle is on, so you can still fix. How you say that? The candle is still lit, you can fix. You can fix. So I don't remember what's the name of that. There was a Litvish rabbi, very famous, Rabbi Israel Misalan, that he said, I put a purpose for myself in my life to bring all of the world to do tshuva. He wanted to help all of the world to do tshuva. And I saw that it's too hard. So I decided that I'm going to work on my city, on my... לא, מה פתאום? Rabbi Israel Misalant. Yesterday, the same rabbi that I talked to you about him yesterday, so he told me that story. And that's his shita, that's his lack of faith. So he told me that story, and Rabbi Israel Misalant, he said, I decided to bring all of the world to do tshuva, because I told him that that's what I'm going to do, that's what I'm doing. So he told me, Rabbi Israel Misalant, he said that also. I decided to bring all of the world to do tshuva, and then I saw that it's too hard, so I decided to help all of my state to do tshuva. And then I saw that it's too hard, so I decided to help all of the people in my city to do tshuva. And then I saw that it's too hard, so I decided to work on my shul, on my bet knesset. And then I saw that it's too hard, so I decided to work on my family. And then I saw that it's too hard, so I decided to work on myself, to do tshuva. And it looks like it's coming down, but actually it's coming up back again, like we learned about the father of Shmuel HaNavi, Elkanah, that it's written on Elkanah that he was growing and growing. And the Gemara, they're asking what it means that he was growing and growing. That first of all, he became to be a man in his house, an important man, a righteous man in his house. And then he developed, and they also respected him, and he became to be a man in his shul, and then in his city, and then in his state. And then he was calling all of Am Yisrael to come with him to go to Beit HaMikdash. Am Yisrael already in that, what? Shiloh. To Shiloh, to the Mishkan B'Shiloh. So all of Am Yisrael in that generation already forgot the importance of going in the holidays to Shiloh, to the Mishkan. Think about that. Already then they forgot. And no one can go and call all of Am Yisrael if he doesn't have the merit, if he doesn't have the zchut. So where you purchase that zchut, where you buy that zchut, first of all, be a righteous man in your house. Take responsibility on yourself, the tshuva. Be a man between you to yourself. Work on your attributes, on your midot, not to be angry, not to be sad, not to be depressed, not to be jealous. Work on yourself. And then your light already going to shine. And it's going to affect your house. And then it's going to affect all of the Bet Knesset. And then the city, and then the state. And then United States also. It's going to illuminate the world. So, that rabbi that I spoke with, he told me that example of Rabbi Israel Misalan to tell me, back off. Don't imagine, but I'm sorry. It's his despair that is talking out from his mouth because he doesn't believe in the power of his tshuva. He's saying, it's too hard. It's not too hard. You can do that. You just need to believe in the power of your tshuva. And then if you believe in the power of the tshuva, tshuva is purifying you, not you purify yourself. Rabbeinu said, you cannot fix even one mistake that you've done, one sin, you cannot. Just, I'm doing tshuva for you. So if now you have a righteous man like Rabbeinu that tells you, I'm doing tshuva for you. So what's your problem to do tshuva? Count on Rabbeinu that said, count on my powers. And now you have the Rebbe in front of you, walking, Shani Olech Lifnechem. And Rabbeinu is walking and he is doing everything for us. So count on him, you don't believe in him. That's the problem. That he said, I can make you righteous exactly like I am. If you will want. Im tirtzu, he said. He said, Im tirtzu. Im tirtzu, אעשה אתכם כמוני ממש. If you will want. So want. ריבונו של עולם. Want. And if you're going to want, it's going to happen. And that's how we're going to do it. And we are. And we will. And it will. Thank you. Chazak u'baruch. Yeshar koach to you too. Thank you.